Hi, we're Harrison and Jack from JCK, and today we're talking about mental health and why it's so important to speak up and talk about your problems.
I like it. So I just want to say that obviously it's going to help reduce stigma, as well as, you can only start fixing your problems when you start being vocal about it. So
You don't talk about it, you can't get anything out, you can't resume.
I think it's important to talk about mental health because a lot of people still feel weird talking about it. And the more you can talk about other people and their genuine experience, it can give you a little bit of perspective on yours. It's a long and difficult process to cope with it, but the more you can talk to other people, the more perspective you get on it.
Hi, my name's Ben. I am the singer in Manchester gutter punk 4-piece The Battery Farm. As it's Mental Health Awareness Week, Debbie has asked me to talk a little bit about sharing and why it's important to talk. It's important to talk because the voices in your head that are telling you that you aren't worth it, or that nobody will listen to you, or that you don't matter, those voices are all part of the fog of illness. Those voices aren't reality. The reality is that you are loved and you're cared about and you are beautiful. And the reality is that if you weren't around, people would really, really miss you. And if you were around, you'd miss out on a lot yourself, which is something I know from personal experience. I want to say thank you to Debbie for giving me a platform to talk about mental health on Mental Health Awareness Week. I think it's important to talk. I think that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel alone, just as long as you know that whoever you are, whatever situation you're in, you can reach out. There are people to reach out to. I love you. Thank you for staying alive.
It's important to talk about mental health issues because when you're struggling, it can feel like the loneliest, scariest place in the world, and you feel that no one can relate to what you're going through, which is absolutely not true. There's so many people going through the same thing.
It's Nish from The Palpitations. For me, as a doctor, it's important to take care of my own mental health so that I can take care of other people.
Mental health matters because good mental health allows us to be the best person that we can be. Not just for ourselves, but for our families, friends, colleagues. Mental illness can cut lives short, tear families apart, make people suffer. So stay safe and look out for each other.
Hello, I'm Sophie from Sophie and the Giants, and I'm here to talk to you about mental health. I am guilty myself of keeping my emotions to myself, sometimes because I worry that it will hurt the people that I love or negatively affect them, and I don't want to put that burden on them, but also because it can be really scary sometimes to just show yourself being vulnerable. And I think as much as we want to be strong individuals and take things on ourselves, I think it takes a lot more strength to open up and be honest to people. The more you keep the pain to yourself as well, it will just grow and it will become more difficult to heal in the long run. I found that sharing parts of me that are difficult with my friends can be really, really liberating and take a weight off of your shoulders that you will no longer have to carry around by yourself. It's so important as well to set that example for our friends and show them that it is okay to speak up if they need to. And if they need to talk to someone, they can talk to you. Showing strength and showing weakness is just a part of being human, and neither of them are competitive.
Hey guys, it's Chris from Novustory, here to speak about why it's important to start talking about mental health. It's time to normalise the discussion and get people to start speaking openly about how they're feeling.
So the reason it's good to talk about mental health is not only because it helps get rid of the stigma that's attached to mental health, it also might make you feel a little bit less you're on your own. The person you're talking to might also be going through something quite similar. So the more you talk about it, the better you might feel. And just...
Hello, my name is Jemma. I'm from Jemma Freeman and the Cosmic Something. If there's one thing that I've learned over the years, it's that seeking help and talking about things is a surefire way to start a process of healing and recovery. It can be difficult at the minute, and we feel like we don't want to burden our friends or partners or things like that, but it's important to look after ourselves.
Hi, I'm Angela from the band Bugeye, and I'm here to share with you my coping mechanism for mental health issues that I've suffered with in the past. I've always found that the power of words has been the most effective tool at my disposal for really helping me in times of need, be that writing some words down, which I feel sort of takes away the power, the negative energy, I suppose, of those words and helps declutter my brain. But more importantly has been speaking to friends that I've trusted, who are there to listen to me and feeling not embarrassed or ashamed to speak to them. And that's the important thing, actually, is to not feel embarrassed or ashamed or weak due to the fact that you have a mental health issue. If you had gone through a really traumatic situation like losing your job or breaking up with someone or losing a loved one, you would speak to a friend, and you should feel that this is just as important and an issue that you can share with your friends. At this time of lockdown, more so than ever, people are suffering from mental health issues, and it may not be possible to connect with the people that you trust and feel that you can share this with the most. There are obviously Zoom calls and phone calls and emails that you can do, but some people might feel that they don't have that person that they can share the load, if you like, with. So I have actually just taken down note of some professional resources if you feel that that's something that you really need. If you're feeling you need urgent mental health attention, there's always the NHS Urgent Mental Health line, which is open 24 hours, and you can find out details of that on the NHS website. There's obviously the Samaritans listening service as well, which the number for that is 116 123, and that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. There's services by organisations like The Mix, who offer free support for under 25s. There's Rethink Mental Health. There's Young Minds, who offer free support for children and young people, and you can text YM to 85285 to access that service. Or there's a organisation called Shout, who also offer free 24/7 crisis service. So you simply just text Shout to 85285. But please do talk to someone if you need to. And again, don't feel ashamed or embarrassed. This is a real issue that I think you'll find many people you know have also gone through or are going through. So I'll just end off saying stay safe. I hope you're well. Please keep talking. Please keep sharing. Over and out.
Hello, dears. Here we are at the end of Mental Health Awareness Week 2020. If you've been watching the series, you'll have seen some really open and honest discussions from some musician friends of mine as they've shared their challenges that they've had with their mental health journeys. They've shared with us some of their coping strategies, and they've also shared some of the things that they've learned about themselves along the way with their journey around mental health. I think it's really important to take one common theme from last week, And that is the fact that each and every person who has shared their mental health experience with us at some point in their journey has felt alone. They felt like they had no one to talk to. They felt like no one else was going through what they were going through, or no one else would understand. And if you look at the videos, whenever anyone has shared their journey with one of their loved ones, one of their friends, their colleagues, or anyone else who they've shared it with, they've felt that they've lessened the burden, and then they've been able to seek the support and the love and the care that's enabled them to help to start to overcome some of those journeys. Now, some of us are still suffering, some of us aren't. I think the one commonality, though, with our journeys, as I've said, is in talking to others. It helps. If you can take one thing from the whole of this series, it's talk to others. Talk to the people in your life. Talk to those that you trust. If you feel like you haven't got anyone, go and seek the help of professionals. Your GP will be able to signpost you to the right organisations who can help you. Mind has a great lot of information that will support you. If you look online, search for Mind, a mental health charity. If you have an eating disorder, Beat is a fantastic charity. It's someone that I've signposted people to, definitely, as well as, I've used for resources when I've been struggling with my own eating disorder. So I just want to extend a massive heartfelt thanks to each and every one of my guests for sharing their journeys with me. What I'm going to do is, because I think that it is so important to continue the conversation around mental health beyond this week, I am going to be doing a weekly series on mental health. I'm going to try and do it on a Wednesday at 8 p.m, Instagram Live, every week on Dreamingisfree for the foreseeable. I'm looking to bring more guests to you who work in the music industry, either as musicians or photographers or promoters or whatever. They're aligned to the music industry because this is a music blog. But I think it's important to understand that the conversations go beyond Mental Health Awareness Week or Mental Health Awareness Month or Mental Health Awareness Days. We all have a mental health status. We all have the right to not suffer in silence. So whatever you do, talk to someone. You don't need to suffer in silence.
Exactly. So yeah, you need to know that you don't need to suffer in silence.
You're not alone. Simple.
I like it. But
you don't have to suffer in silence.
It's okay to talk. You don't have to suffer in silence. And I'll just repeat that one more time for emphasis. You don't have to suffer in silence.
You don't have to suffer in silence.
You don't need to suffer in silence.
You don't have to suffer in silence.
You don't have to suffer in silence.
Don't suffer in silence.
And the thing that I would remind you all to remember is not to suffer in silence.